So we read the Turnip by the Grimm's brothers, and I can go ahead and give like as quick a summary as I can manage, and then we'll kind of talk about the story. And
Sounds good.
okay, so the Turnip by the Brothers Grimm. So it starts off with two brothers. One is rich and one is poor, and they're both soldiers. And the poor brother decides that he wants to better himself. So he takes off his red coat and he becomes a gardener and he digs a well and he starts to sow turnips. Now, one of those turnips grew larger and larger and it grew to kind of a monstrous size. And he thinks he tries to consider what to do, and he thinks, well, if he tries to sell it, it will go the same price as any other turnip, and it's not as good for eating as the little turnips. So he decides to take it to the king as a sign of respect. So it fills his cart, and he uses two oxen to carry it to the king or to wheel it to the king, and it's very difficult to do that. And when the king sees that large turnip, he is astonished. Now, he has seen many strange things, but he has never seen something quite like this, and he refers to it as kind of a monster, and he asks, where did you get this thing? Or was this completely by luck? And if so, you are a true child of fortune. And the poor brother denies this. He says he's not a child of good fortune. He's just a poor soldier who has become a gardener. In fact, his brother is the one that the king knows and the whole world knows, and everyone actually forgets about me. Now the king took pity on him, and he gave him enough gold and lands and flocks to be richer than his brother, whose fortune could not be compared with his at this point. And he is thinking, if his brother had received so much for only a turnip. Sorry, just got a little lost there. Um, so the brother heard about what's been going on, and he envied the previously poor brother, and he kind of schemed. He was kind of thinking about what he should do, and he got together a bunch of gold and a bunch of other stuff as a present for the king. And he thought, surely compared to a turnip, this stuff is way more valuable and I'll get way more than my brother got in return. And so the king received the gift from the other brother graciously, and he didn't really know what to give him that was more valuable than a turnip, than that giant turnip. So he gave that brother the turnip, and the brother was forced to put it onto a cart and drag it back home with him. And he got home and he was full of rage and spite, and he resolved to kill his brother. Uh, so he hired villains to murder the brother. He told his brother, "Hey, I found a great treasure in the ground. Let's go together and dig it up." And as they were going, the murderers ambushed the previously poor brother, and they tied him up. But then off in the distance, they were frightened by the sound, excuse me, they were frightened by the sound of a horse that was off in the distance. And they quickly pushed their prisoner neck and shoulders forward into the sack, and they put the sack up swinging by a cord from a tree and dangling, and then they ran away. And the previously poor younger brother worked and worked and made a hole in the sack, in out of which he pushed his head. So then the person who had been riding the horse made his way up, The text describes him as a merry fellow. He's singing, and the brother addresses him, "Hey, good morning, friend." And the student couldn't see who was calling to him. He looked around and he was kind of alarmed and he said, "Who calls me?" And the man in the tree said, "Look up. Behold, I sit in a sack of wisdom. In short time, in a short time, here I've learned great and wondrous things." And he lists off the various types of worldly and wisdom kinds of things that he's learned. And this is much better. This cannot be compared with school learning. Soon I will know everything there is to know. But oh yes, anyone who is here once would feel and own the power of knowledge. So the student, of course, is intrigued. He has to go up. The man answers as if he's reluctant to let him up a little bit. And he says, "Yes, okay. I guess there's a bit of space that's next to me. Just tarry a little bit, wait a little bit there. I still have some learning to do before I'm finished." And so the student sits there, but he's impatient and he begged to ascend. And the other pretended to just give way. "Okay, let the sack down and enter." Now the student begins to go feet first, and the other corrected him and he pushed him in head first. And then the brother pulls up the sack into where it's hanging, but hanging on the tree, and he asks how the student is, and he tells the student to rest in peace, and he will soon be wiser than he was. And then he trotted off with the student's nag, and different versions of the story seem like he till someone comes around to let him down, or that he sent someone to after a while he sent someone to let the student down.